Hello, I'm Marcia Ogden. Welcome to my podcast, Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus. It's for anyone who's passed that milestone, like me, by a long chalk, and who, like me, has realised that we could be on this earth for another 30 or 40 years. So let's plan to make the rest of our life the best of our life. Before we get started with this week's episode, can I just remind you to please review, share and subscribe to the Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus podcast on whatever platform you're listening on. And if you do want to plan to make the rest of your life the best of your life, take a look at www.googleit.com/my-best-life and find out more about My Best Life Journal and workshops. Welcome to episode 51 of the Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus podcast. This one's called Living Clean and Healthy. And so ends week 7 of our coronavirus pandemic here in the UK, and obviously in the world, although we're all at different stages. I do hope everyone's bearing up okay. My guest this week is the multi-skilled Jen James. She's a yoga and meditation teacher who has many strings to her bow. Basically, she's got us covered. And what a lady! If you saw the little video I put out promoting this episode, you will know that something she said or did really gave me the chills. So keep listening to find out if it has the same effect on you too. But first, as you know, instead of a handy life hack, whilst we're on lockdown, I'm collating information that I find in like the newspaper or on social media about how to make the most of this very strange period in our lives. And so each week that we are in this situation, I'll bring you the best ideas that I've found to keep us productive and, of course, entertained. Now, this week, none of us know how we should be behaving or feeling or thinking or doing at this time. There is no normal. But I do know that some people, because I'm one of them, can't help but be a little bit disappointed in themselves when they have a down day. So, this week I've developed a little list of tiny steps that will make us feel like at least we did something. Number 1. Exercise. Just do 2 push-ups. Number 2. Health. Drink a glass of water. Make it a big one. Number 3. Education. Read 1 page of a book. Number 4. Mindset. Get dressed. Yes, even if it's only to sit in the house, it does make you feel better. Number 5. Social. Make 1 phone call. Just to a member of your family or to 1 friend, or just check in with them on social media. Here she is, Jen James. My guest on this week's Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus podcast is Jen James of Celestial Yoga, and she is based just 1 hour from Manhattan in the US. So hi Jen, welcome.
Hi Marcia.
It's lovely to have you here. Now, you're a yoga and meditation teacher, a heart-centered entrepreneur, you specialise in stress and pain management, and you offer a whole holistic approach to living and working. So tell us what that means.
Oh, sure, Marcia. And again, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
So to me, holistic living and working means having a life that's all encompassing. So think of your body, your mind, and your spirit, incorporating all aspects of your life, like your relationships, with yourself, with your family, coworkers, all of that good stuff, but plus work, your interests, and your health. And this includes sleeping and what we put in our bodies and our minds, and movement and stretching. So it's a lot to think about, but that's basically what holistic living and working means to me.
Right. And what's the centerpin of that? Is it the yoga that makes it all hang together?
I guess because I'm a yoga and meditation teacher now for 17 years, that is definitely a big aspect, of course. But then I more recently became a clean eating and primal health coach. And I started learning that what we put into our bodies and our minds, whether it's from what we eat, drink, sleep, movement, whatever it is, it all affects our stress levels, our energy, how we feel inside and out.
If someone came to you and wanted to improve the way they feel, what would you start with? Would you start with their mindset, or would you start with physically sort of changing what they eat or how they move, how they exercise?
That's a good question. So a lot of times I'll have people come to me and they have digestive woes, especially vegans and vegetarians, okay? So what I'll say to them is it's possible what's happening is you're sensitive, not allergic, two different words, to wheat and grains and sugar, by the way. And then what I suggest is that you journal and you start tracking how, when you eat something, about a half hour later or whatever, how do you feel? And you get diligent about this for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And you put it, I have an old-fashioned free calendar because I donate to the Humane Society. I love animals. And I keep it stored away in a little drawer. My husband knows, stay away from there. That's my little private thing. And I write certain symptoms down on there. And it's also coincide with my extremely irregular period, because I am 50 and, it's been a little irregular for the past couple of years, and it's still hanging on, but, so it's kind of neat because when you journal, you start to learn, like, oh my God, so certain times during the month, I'm more bloated than other times. And what happens is you start realizing what you're eating and or drinking can cause the bloat even more.
Of course,
So that's what I'm looking for, people to just get a little bit more mindful and present with your physical body and your emotions and all that.
The other thing that you are an expert in is not only holistic living, but it's working that holistic living into working on a budget, isn't it? So Can you tell us about that? Because I think it is something that we all need to address, whether we're getting ready to retire or whether we're retired or whether we're looking for a second career or whether we're still working. Everybody needs to be a little bit aware of how you can take on a new lifestyle and it not cost a fortune. Because I think people think of, buying vegan foods, buying organic foods, it's all so expensive. Do you have tips for keeping the cost of that down?
I do. So basically, I have a program. It's called Holistic Living and Working on a Budget. And it's a part of my private sessions. When I work with someone, I incorporate this in. I want to really talk about holistic living and working on a budget that can radically shift your ability to work holistically while honoring your budget, and how you can start implementing this right now. Okay? So number one, when you're shopping for your small business, and this could be your life too, guys, not just business, but your small business, think before you purchase everything. So when you're buying something, think about, does it give you a return on your investment? Every cent counts, but sometimes an investment in a good program, an author, a book, whatever it is worth it. So only you know the answer. So just be more thoughtful and mindful and present when you purchase stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I like saying the words, I try not to use the word stuff usually, but it's significant right now because it was funny. Somebody was talking about a couple weeks ago, they were talking about a truck on the highway and it had a bumper sticker on it and said, "Sick and tired of all the trucks on the road, stop buying stuff." Right?
Yeah, yeah,
I had to put that in there because it's significant.
yeah.
There's important, wonderful programs and products out there. There is. But also, let's not accumulate so much stuff. You know what I mean? Just
Mm-hmm.
be more mindful. You'll save a lot more money when you're more mindful, I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you.
And I have to say, at this point, we're recording this during the coronavirus. And I think now more than ever, we are becoming aware of how much stuff we've got and how little stuff we do actually need.
Yeah, people are organizing more than ever right now.
Mm,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Another thing is, say you're saying there's not enough time in the day, okay, to get
Mm-hmm.
everything done. All right. Well, here's a tip. Start looking at your social media habits. Try to spend 30 minutes less scrolling and use that time towards your business, self-care, or spending time with your loved ones. The
Mm-hmm.
choice is yours, but it does all add up.
Mm,
Oh,
yeah.
and then there's time blocking. So, for example, go through and clean up your email, delete, unsubscribe, organize only one time a week. So, daily, choose maybe one or two times to check and respond to email, letting the important people in your life know that they can always text you or call you if it's urgent. But time blocking has changed the way I work. It has helped me so much.
Mm.
I have like themes to every day, like a 4 hour dive in deep theme on working on my book or
Mm-hmm.
building a course or having wonderful podcasts that I'm on, and
Mm.
just devote that time to
Yeah,
really
yeah,
be present and mindful. I'm going to keep saying it over and over, present and mindful.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I'm absolutely with you on that because you get distracted so easily these days. And you get to say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you think, what have I actually done today? And it was
Yes.
only when I started blocking time, like you said, that you can focus on something and you feel like you've achieved something, don't you? And if somebody did want to work with you, how would they go about it?
I have a couple of things going on, but thank you for asking, Marcia. I have a freebie. It's called Holistic Living and Working on a Budget. And it's a free e-guide, so you can get a little taste of what my programs are like.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I've been a yoga and meditation teacher for many years, I still do one day a week. I was doing in-person classes. So I have taken, and most of my students are 55 to 75 years old. Those sweet people learned how to do online yoga with me, whether
Right.
they wanted to or not. And it was a process, guys.
Yeah.
So I have now open to all of you. I have an online, it's Wednesdays at 10:30. It's a group yoga program. It's a
Mm-hmm.
virtual program via Zoom. And drop-ins are welcome. And it's on my website.
Right. Is that 10:30 Eastern time
Oh,
though?
yeah, good
Yeah.
one.
So what would that would be?
So in England, you're
It
at
would be
what, 4?
3:30, wouldn't it, in the afternoon then?
Yeah, so it'd be 3:30 in the
Right.
afternoon in England. East Coast of America, it's 10:30. But the beauty of this, guys, is I will send you the recording if you can't make it at that time. That's the
Oh,
thing.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a gentle yoga, stress relieving, and pain management class. And it's as long as you can get up and down off a yoga mat, you're good to go. It's $35 a month. It's so affordable. And if you ask me, I'll just send you the recording. Say you're like, yeah, Jen, I can't make it. I'll just send you the
Mm-hmm.
recording within 24 hours.
Tell us about I mean, New York has been quite forefront in the news at certain times along this pandemic journey. How are things now with you over there?
They're no better right now. This
Right.
is May 5th right now when we're recording this. And because we're in New Jersey, we're an hour from New York, our state's the second worst in the United States, and we have a tiny state. So our numbers aren't as bad as New York, but we're only an hour from them. New York City is the worst in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And so the farther and farther you get away from the city, the better the numbers are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're okay. My family's okay. I just have learned the stress relieving techniques that I've been working on for 17 years are just kicking in tenfold.
Yeah, if ever you needed those techniques, it's now.
Yeah, because I built this, and I just finished it a week ago, this holistic living and working on a budget. Yeah. I built this course. It took 5 years of all of my information. I compiled like little sticky notes and everything for 5 years. Because of this wonderful pandemic, I decided, hey, you know what? Let me dig in and build this course because I'm home much more than ever. My entertainment is going to the grocery store once a week, and it's not entertaining. The food is scarce, the people are scared, and it's tough. So I'm home working online, 10 to 12 hours a day. I built a program, and now I incorporate that into my private sessions. So if you wanted to work with me privately, I set up just for this situation. I usually make it a 3-month program, but I made it so that you could do 1 hour with me, just 1 hour. And we work on what you want to work on. Is it stress management, healthy habits? Is it clean eating? Is it holistic working on a budget? Is it time management and budgeting? Whatever your thing is, you'll fill out a questionnaire to see what you want to work on most.
Right. So it's pretty much tailored to whatever.
Yeah,
anyone
we'll really
wants.
we'll hone in on one thing that's really on the forefront of your mind. And, a lot of people that come to me, it's about their back aches or they're stressed out to the maximum. Those seem to be the biggest things right now that people are coming about. I do specialize in stress management and pain management, but clean eating, like we were talking about before, I could spend an hour working with you talking about how do we do vegan properly,
Yeah. I'm fascinated by how what we eat has such an effect on our lives, not just sort of the visual, how fat are you, but on your mindset and on every aspect of your life. So I've really enjoyed our conversation. It's been so informative. But can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I ask all my guests, if you were to meet the teenage Jen and she could see where you're at now, what do you think she would be proud of? And what do you think she might say, oh, I wish we'd done that a different way?
Well, first of all, I have to tell you, I love this question. I actually have a meditation that is based on your question.
Do you?
I do. So I'm going to answer your question, but then if we have a minute, it may help our listeners. I have this technique that I have that I haven't taught in a long time, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, we'll certainly do that.
Okay, so let me answer the question because you asked the question. So, let me tell you guys, and I say this because it's still raw for me and it's still difficult for me to say this. And I think Marcia could probably see it in my eyes a little bit better than the listeners can. I'm a former drug addict, I'm in full recovery and I'm a yoga teacher and a health and wellness coach. But I know exactly what it's like to feel hopeless and confused, to eat everything in sight, and just want to feel comfortable in my body, mind, and soul. I also am a former bulimic, on and off 10 years. Okay, so my practice of yoga, meditation, and loving kindness has saved my life. So I just turned 50 recently, and I started doing yoga in my 20s. And doing all of that, the yoga, meditation, loving kindness, that is so important. I would tell my past self that helped me overcome many physical and mental struggles throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's something that I am very proud of, that I learned how to overcome.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that's a message that I would like to take into a wonderful meditation for you guys. So what I would do is I would go in front of a mirror, or you can record yourself, Marcia, via Zoom. Either way, or on, you don't want this to be public, guys. This is just for your own private time, okay? So you could stand in front of a mirror. You could, if you're an empath, you could just close your eyes and talk to yourself and not look at yourself, whatever works best for you. Not the priority, but the priority is talk to yourself and say, hey, future self, this is to your future. It could be your 80, your 100-year-old self, whatever age you want to come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy with the choices that I'm making right now? This can be, guys, health. It can be business. It could be spiritual. Whatever it is, your finances. Is your future self feeling at peace and at ease? Like, yes, thank you for doing that choice, whatever that choice is. Or is that future self going, oh, I wish you didn't do that? And I know that it's kind of a heartbreaking. When I first said this out loud, I cried.
That's given me chills.
It is, isn't it? I talk to my past self. There's a meditation to talk to your past self. And I know, I wish I never did cocaine for as long as I did. I wish that. I wish I didn't just sit and drink at a party for 12 hours and get home at 7 o'clock in the morning from being out all night. Like, I wish I didn't do that. I can't even imagine doing that now. So how would our future self feel about some choices we're making right now?
Yeah.
But we can change. We can change it.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
can't.
That really did give me chills, because I always ask this question, and it's looking back, isn't it? And that is, like I say, it's the same question, but further along the line.
It is.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. When you were saying it, I just kind of got a chill.
Yeah, I used to not.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah.
I used to cry when I did the meditation. I did it on Facebook Live. I was like, oh, great. So,
Wow. Yeah.
It's tough, guys, but sometimes we got to do the tough stuff in order to change.
Yeah. I mean, like you, obviously I have the director of A Dream Life 50 Plus, My Best Life journal. And so obviously I'm a big fan of journaling. But like you said, it's tough being honest with yourself. And it's only when you write things down that you become accountable, because it's easy to just dismiss things. So, oh, yeah, how many glasses of wine did I? It doesn't matter. I'll try again tomorrow. If you write down how many, how much, when, and then when you look back on it and you think, oh, I've got a problem, or oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Whatever it is, you cannot be the judge until you start writing it down.
Yes, I love that. That's wonderful. I think a journal is such a great investment. It's so affordable, and it's found. It changes the way we think.
Yeah, and it opens up new ways of thinking. I mean, like I say, I've got a journal. I published a journal. I help people to come up with sort of their innermost thoughts and feelings. But I've just learned something today. I've never thought of looking back as an old. Well, I am an old lady, as a very old lady looking back. I've never thought of doing that, and oh my God, it gave me chills when I did it. Just even thinking about it, I wasn't even doing it properly because we're having this conversation. But just the concept of it, that's new to me, and I'm going to take that away and do it.
Yes, I hope you do. I mean, I think it's important, guys, and I didn't get to talk about it today because I know we have to get going. But meditating is just being mindful and present and reflecting and
Mm,
turning within, guys. It doesn't have to be this difficult. Oh, I can't do it. I'm not a monk, or
mm.
I'm not this guru. No, we all can do it. And I try to teach through yoga and meditation and clean eating approachable, easy to understand ways to do things. I'm very approachable, but I am honest, but I'm kind.
You're so in line with Directory of a Dream Life 50 plus objectives of knowing that you can change. It's never too late. You can change who you are, you can change what you do, and you can change the outcome.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have one life to live. We can change at any age.
Mm-hmm. We can, and we will.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Jen, and do keep in touch.
Oh, thank you, Marcia. I loved being on here. Thank you.
I do hope you found that interesting. If you'd like to know more about Jen or connect with her, her links are in the show notes. Now, before the quiz, here's a little word about my Best Life Journal. If you're not convinced yet that journaling can change your life, or perhaps in these very strange times of lockdown, you're just on a really strict budget, well, guess what? I've published the Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus My Best Life Journal onto Amazon Kindle at just £6.97 UK or $7.99 US. Because obviously, having published the Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus My Best Life Journal, I am going to keep stressing the benefits of journaling. And now, do not tell me you haven't got time. My journal is a year long. It's undated, so you can start it when you want, and the pages are big, so there's lots of room for a reflection and planning. And it's not just a diary or a planner, it's a place to write your thoughts and work on breaking bad habits and developing new traits and skills. And as I say, at £6.97 it's a snip. If you do still prefer the actual hardback edition, you can take advantage of my friends and family discount price of £23 rather than the advertised £33. All the links will be in the show notes. The answer to last week's quiz is Trafalgar Square. If you want to know what the question was, you'll have to listen back to episode 50. Here's this week's question. In which 1979 science fiction film was the only human survivor called Ripley? No Googling, and I'll give you the answer next week. Thanks so much for listening this week. We've just got one more week, then it'll be time for the Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus podcast's first birthday episode. Yay! If you'd like to send in any little lockdown birthday stories of your own, or any little messages, you can email me, marcia@gurglit.com. That's MARCHIA at gurglit, GURGLEIT.com. Or you can access the podcast through the website and click the send message button in anchor.fm, and you'll be able to record a little audio message there. Remember to check out the deals on My Best Life Journal, because there's no time like the present to do a bit of self-reflection and get into the rhythm of keeping tabs on your mind and body self-care routine. If it's something that you thought of doing one day, today is that day. Do look after yourselves, and if you need a bit of company, don't forget that you can catch up on all the previous Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus podcasts. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week. The Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus podcast is created and produced by me, Marsha Ogden, and it's available on several platforms, as well as via our website. So please keep listening and tell your friends all about it. Do follow us on Instagram and Facebook too. You'll find all the relevant links in the show notes. Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus is about making our life happier and easier. So if you do have suggestions or if you'd like to be a guest on the show, just drop me a line at marsha@googlit.com. Have a fantastically happy week and I'll see you next time.